Now, if you know me, you know I love Just Cause. I own all of the physical releases of the game. I bought Just Cause 3 twice because, well, I just had to buy a game that my PC couldn't play because I'm really smart. And I'm gonna act like this is a big deal or something, but Day 1 Edition, bitch. Suck a dick. Whoever doesn't own the Day 1 Edition. I mean, I bought it on accident, kind of. Didn't actually realize it was gonna be the Day 1 Edition when I bought it, but that's besides the point. Thing is, I love Just Cause, and I love some of these games. There's some choice ones that maybe should have been different, and this one isn't the greatest. I still appreciate it. This one's my treasured prize and joy. Pride and joy. Why the fuck can't I speak today? Anyways. We're gonna be talking about why that one's bad. Where do I even begin with this thing? This thing is so bad. How do you take a game like Just Cause 3 and make it bad? I mean, that game was the perfect template. I thought Just Cause 4 was just gonna be Just Cause 3 More Edition. It was not. The characters felt very off. The gameplay was weird. And so was the story. Like, what? What did I even... all I could think was, what did I even play? What the fuck? Bring the thunder. Why don't you bring the fucking good games, Avalanche? I really don't understand how you could go from the masterpiece that is Just Cause 3 to this piece of garbage. Alright, I'm gonna start explaining why it's garbage in more detail. There's some specific key moments, some specific gameplay issues, some specific very off character beats. And I think you need to hear about them. Because if you haven't played this game, you should know, unless you're a really big piece of shit like me who plays games he knows might be bad. You really shouldn't buy it. Starting with my beloved Tommy Sheldon, who only I can have. They ruined his character. Really. I didn't even realize it was him when I first saw him. Not that I think him redeeming himself is a problem, just that he even needed to be redeemed in this game at all. Especially since by the end of the third game, it was pretty well known by Rico that he was not the rat. The one that had been leaking the rebel secrets was Zeno. So I don't see why Rico would still have a grudge against him at all. Like, they took everything good from this game and they made it bad. How do you even do that? They even fucked up Rico. Look at him. Look at my little guy. Look at him. Does that look like Rico to you? Because if it does, you have issues. How do you take this beautiful little guy? You turn him into this. You turn him into this. You haven't seen his in-game model yet, but you will. How do you take this? How do you take this and fuck it all up? Well, you make this into this, of course. There is no worse for this. This can only go down, and this can only go up. It's like they made the exact opposite. This is wonderful. This is an abomination. Now, Thomas Sheldon. I've always loved Thomas Sheldon. Because Sheldon is always sort of the funny guy. Rico is sometimes the straight man. And sometimes they sort of trade places. But by and large, Tom Sheldon has been very loyal to Rico. Except for Just Cause 3, kind of. But even then, he by the end was completely on board with the rebels, and it seems like he kind of never really was with Sebastiano Di Riccardo in the first place in a way, but you get the idea. Thomas is a good guy. He's not an asshole, and Rico should know that by the end of Just Cause 3. But for some reason, they made it so that Rico didn't know that. I don't understand that at all, and for some reason, Thomas had to redeem himself to Rico in this game. We'll go over a brief history. In this game, Tom Sheldon is sort of kind of like a side character, but he's sort of superior to Rico. But he was kind of funny, he was a good guy. And this game, he was kind of greedy, and he was originally thought to be a traitor, but it turned out he wasn't, and he was framed. In this game, he's kind of an asshole, but by the end, you sort of realize he was mostly doing things for what he saw as the greater good. He didn't really want to lose his job or anything. He was just doing what Uncle Sam thought was right, just like by the end of Just Cause 2, but at the end of Just Cause 2, he kind of got over Rico destroying the oil fields. And in Just Cause 4, they make it out like in Just Cause 3, he was an unredeemable asshole, which, like, I kind of like him in this game, but only because he's nice. Very nice, while Rico is an asshole to him. Mind you, if I'm getting any of this wrong, it's been a while, but I doubt I am because I was very angry about this when I first played it. I wanted to rant about this game to someone for so long. Because this game is an unholy abomination. I feel like I should be handling it with the cross in one hand and with doggy doo-doo gloves on my other, just so I can handle it. I just want to take it and drop it in a toilet where it belongs. Now, Rico, I feel, his progression and character design has always kind of made sense. Like, if we look over the original Just Cause for a minute. Open. Open sesame. There's my guy. He's got a hairless face. He's got a pretty sweet hairstyle. Kind of a mix between James Bond and whoever the fuck is in Mission Impossible. But if you've dropped something. In Just Cause 2, it's kind of more of the same. I mean, he's starting to grow some facial hair. He looks mostly the same. He sounds kind of similar. And he doesn't really sound like this in Just Cause 3, though. So, yeah. You can kind of see how these are becoming this guy. But this guy's face is wrong. It's like they made a totally different art style, and it just doesn't feel right. Not at all. There's something very wrong with it. And I just don't like it. Threw me off the first time I saw it, because like in the trailers you mostly see him from behind, so it's like he looks okay, he looks like Rico, and I thought the graphics were amazing when I first saw the trailer. And don't get me wrong, these are some somewhat impressive graphics, but I've seen some comparisons and this game does not match up to Just Cause 3 in most respects. Like in Just Cause 3, they had some interesting physics, the water looked wonderful, the wingsuit was pretty cool. It was a good addition. And then this game, so you know how the grappler's always been this handy dandy tool. It lets you grapple onto things, lets you grapple two things together, and then you can make them go together. Well, this game said, yeah, how about we just give you everything? Like, the grappler has everything. I mean, it is uncanny. It doesn't even feel like it's a real game. It feels like a fan game, honestly. It can pull things together. It can push things apart, which, if it was just pushing things apart and maybe a couple of other things that you can do in this game, maybe I think it was kind of cool, pretty neat. If it was just pulling things together and pushing them apart, I would think that was wonderful. You just have to fix the story, fix the characters, fix everything else. But they gave this thing, like, fan fiction levels of detail. You can make balloons come out of your grappler, because why not? You can do this, you can do that. In this game, a feature I initially thought was pretty cool, you can summon storms. And, you know, that is pretty cool. But I never felt the need to use it. Blast! Not once did I ever feel the need to use it. And most of the time, the game feels and looks so cheap. It's like they took the jungle segments from this game and they made it the whole game. Like, yeah, I like the jungle segments in Just Cause 2, but I didn't need them to be a whole game. And in Just Cause 3, it was nice. It didn't need a ton of variety, though. It was mostly the same throughout the game because it had one theme. This game, I don't even... It's got like some... I remember raiding some tombs or something and some futuristic stuff, and it was all in this jungle area. I don't understand how any of these themes come together. I guess I kind of see society encroaching in on nature, like, I'm gonna fucking get ya. And then Rico's like, no, fuck you. But really, the Black Hand is kind of introduced out of nowhere. Let me explain what I mean by that. In Just Cause 3, they do introduce the Black Hand as a faction. And the Black Hand is like this mystery government agency that Rico's father worked for, and is the reason that Rico's father died, kind of ish. Honestly, I still say Rico's family was murdered by Sebastiano Tiravello. But Rico's father was working on some technology that could let you summon storms, which is why you can do it in this game. It's where all that technology and shit came from. Mind you, in the first game, there was very little backstory for Rico. Rico honestly doesn't even act like Rico. Sometimes he's too serious, sometimes he's too laid back. Like, Rico has always been kind of cocky, but he just doesn't feel like Rico. In the voice acting for Rico, I didn't not like it, but I still felt like it was kind of off for Rico. Not as off as Just Cause 2 was. I feel like Just Cause and Just Cause 3 Rico mostly sounded the same. But this guy, I don't think there's any better way to put it than saying he was like the Mr. Bean Rico. Because that's just the way he talked reminded me of Mr. Bean. But in Just Cause 4, honestly, I don't remember anything he says in this game. Like, in Just Cause 3, it's so many memorable quips. Even in Just Cause and Just Cause 2, there were some memorable moments, some memorable things said. Like, in this game, fuck you, missile. A memorable line. This looks like trouble. I like trouble. Things like that, little quips that you can make throughout the game. In Just Cause 2, what do you remember? Well, at the end, you shove a dictator into a missile, and then it explodes with a midget dictator in it. In this game, you don't even get to kill the main villain yourself, and he's not even really a dictator, he's just an asshole. So, who is it, and why was the story so forgettable? It was some guy that worked with Rico's father or some shit, working with the Black Hand, and apparently there was some DLC where you could fight off some agency and Black Hand shit. I don't know. Barely remembered anything from this game besides for how much I hated it, how bad the capturing system was for the provinces and regions, how bad the story was, and how bad the characters were. That's not to say I don't remember anything from this game, because obviously I wouldn't be making a video on it if I didn't remember how much I hated it. But still, there's something to be said about me only remembering the bad parts. I don't even think I remember one time in this game where it had some genuine Just Cause themed fun. In Just Cause 1, there's sort of a secret agent theme going on. In Just Cause 2, same sort of theme. In Just Cause 3, it wasn't the same, but it was still fun. I don't know what theme they were going for with this game. What is it trying to be? It feels like it was trying maybe a little bit too hard to clutch on Just Cause 3, and the looks and the gameplay in some respects. But the capture system is totally asinine. It's like, they made updated versions of all the props from Just Cause 3, which is something I noticed in the trailer when I first saw it. I was like, oh wow, this is just going to be Just Cause 3 More Edition, which is usually an insult directed towards games. This would be a compliment. Just Cause 3 is so good that I think that if they made a More Edition, I would love it. That would be a great game. Give it a different story, use the same sort of engine and shit, use the same engine, some of the same character models. That actually brings me to a different thing. Why is there no Mario Frigo in my Just Cause 4? I loved Mario. I loved the characters in Just Cause 3. They were great, great characters. Dima, I can obviously understand not returning because she got blown the fuck up, but the other characters, it's kind of inexcusable. All this being said, Just Cause 3 is of course not perfect. It's better, but it's not perfect. Speaking of the character Mario Frigo and of Dima, they come out of nowhere. Like, was anyone else confused, thinking maybe there was a game that they missed in between Just Cause 2 and Just Cause 3? I was like, yeah, Mario, it's cool to see you again. Who the fuck are you? But, of course, speaking of seeing Mario again, I really would have liked to see him in Just Cause 4, and I was kind of disappointed. I was really excited. I was. It had been a couple of months after launch, and I was at a mall, and I saw GameStop. And I like to go into GameStops and maybe buy like 3 games, cheapest they got, as long as they're games that I'm interested in. That is how I built up my 360 collection and my 1 collection a little bit. But this is a purchase I regret. I believe this was the same day I bought Devil May Cry HD collection though, so I take that back a little bit. Not a purchase I entirely regret. This was a purchase I will never regret. I will always love Just Cause 3. It is my favorite Just Cause game. This is my ranking of Just Cause games. As you can see, it goes from Just Cause 3, to Just Cause 2, to Just Cause, and Just Cause 4. I of course cannot really have an opinion on Just Cause Mobile yet. I was not happy to see that trailer though. I remember the first time I saw it, I was like, are Square Enix trying to kill Just Cause? And maybe I need to chill back a little bit, because I thought it was taking away anything that could have been a Just Cause 5. In fact, I thought that was what Just Cause 5 was going to be, a mobile game. I got so pissed off. I actually wanted to make a video then, like, is Square Enix and Avalanche trying to murder Just Cause? And no, now looking back, I don't think that they were. A mobile game could be a kind of cool addition, especially since it's not really like that's what the series is going to become. And from what I've heard, they have a separate team working on it. So it's not going to take away from a potential Just Cause 5. And according to Avalanche, they're dedicated to making a future for Just Cause. And I'm happy to hear that. I really am. And that was my funny rant for like 20 fucking minutes. Thanks for sitting here and listening to my bullshit.
Yeah, your mom's so fucking gay. She be like, suck my dick, suck my dick. Your bitch, suck my dick, suck my dick. Yeah, she suck my dick. But then she go, bitch, call my phone. She go,